We are Change Ohio. We are right here in front of City Hall in Huber Heights, Ohio. And I'm joined with Matt. What was your name, dude?
Steven.
Steven and Chase. And they are outside here of City Hall. Tell me about what you guys are about to do now.
We're getting ready to go into the Huber Heights City Council Joint Committee meeting. I think it's for Public Works and Public Health. And we're taking them the issue about the fluoridation of the water supply. We're trying to get them to run a resolution maybe for Ohio State so we can get something going in the legislature.
Yep, apparently according to the Ohio Revised Code, cities don't have the option to opt out of fluoridation despite the fact that it's an involuntary medication and it's a really bad one. It's not even good for you.
What do you got down here as far as like...
Okay, this one is from '39, which was about the time they enacted the whole fluoridating the water supply thing. And apparently even in '39 it was found that in rats, fluoride rots your teeth. It doesn't help your teeth, especially when you eat it. This was published by these guys here at the University of Illinois in Urbana. It's about comparative toxicity of fluoride, because fluoride is toxic. Yeah, and then we have
louder volumes. It's an actual statement from the EPA.
We have a statement from a NTEU Chapter 280 of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency National Headquarters, where a bunch of professionals, the scientists, they got together and they decided that they were concerned over fluoridation because it's really bad for you. So, as opposed to what the CDC and the EPA seem to believe, fluoridating the water supply is bad for you. So we're here to really debate the issue, do something about it.
Right on. You got any comments?
Just if we find some common ground and get a resolution going to go ahead of the state with the city's approval. Is what basically we're trying to get done here. So in order to go to the state, in order to change the revised code. So that's our mission today.
It looks really good if you have your elected body say this is all bad. We believe that this is bad stuff and we need to get out. So.
You guys all just graduated this past year?
Just graduated
Wow.
2010.
What inspires you guys to do this, to take action?
Just after seeing fluoride is just really toxic, we have a little discussion group going on, so we got talking about how bad it is, and I mean it's probably one of the most dangerous toxins that people come into contact with every single day in high volume.
Not only come into contact, but we're consuming it because the government said it was a good idea.
And no one quite knows to what extent and what amount you use it per day, drinking water or like
Plants
you brought up
fed by
earlier,
the water with
yeah,
fluoride.
your garden, so to speak, you water it with city water, and you end up consuming the fruit that or vegetables that grow. Over time, your body takes all that in. It's not good at all. I mean, it's a health hazard. And I mean, I don't know if there's any safe level of poison you can put in water. According to EPA, there's a safe level, which I'd like to disagree with that. But so hopefully everything will go well.
Right on, guys. Awesome.
That allowed folks to vote on whether to fluoridate or not. Has anyone been able to track any records down at the Board of Elections to see if that was the case? Does anyone know?
I've personally had a lot of trouble finding any literature from a lot of government functions at the city level from back then, because I think a lot of it was kept in records that were maybe just sort of stored on paper permanently, and it's never really been updated. So I have not
It's a digital
found
copy
anything
or
personally.
something like that, digital record.
Yeah. Well, this is just the basic, simple question. Can the Board of Elections tell us, I would like to know, I think that's a good place to start, if there was a ballot question on in 1969, 70, 71, Wayne Township, because we weren't a city then.
Yeah.
And in fact, we had a private water supply. We did not have a public water supply. They went before PUCO to get anything done because it wasn't owned by the city, the township, the county, or any government entity. It was privately held. And I think the parent company was actually out of state, not in state. It had ceased to be the Huber Corporation's water company by that time. Pam, can you help me with that? Do you have, when you all would have started
Well, I read the law. It sounded like it was a law that was passed verbatim, and if you did not want it, you had to
Opt in.
opt out.
Yeah, it was the
Opt
Ohio
out for
Revised
that.
Code, and
So,
I think it was
yeah.
69. They
Yeah.
did the state legislature, and they said if any town over 5,000 can vote in or out, and they had a 3-year period to do that.
And only 20, I guess, did
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, there was
Something like 20.
yeah, and then
2023, something like
Yeah.
that.
there's for the state.
But I
there's
think if you didn't
20
do
something
anything,
of those.
then it just
Jurisdiction.
automatically applied.
If you took no
It
action,
did.
it was an
That's
automatic
Yeah,
application.
Yeah.
exactly. It was an automatic opt-in if you didn't. But I'm pretty sure they all did.
Okay, then how did we determine, we do know, even before this issue came up, and I do remember the issue being pretty contentious at the time, because I had a mother-in-law that lived with us that absolutely did not want any fluoride in her water. And we were parents of young children who were leaning towards wanting the fluoride. But I do know one of the points that was made was that we had fluoride naturally in our water. I mean, to begin with, which
We're actually going to touch on that later. That point, but
Or we could just touch on it now.
how are we just touch on it now?
and then when it was decided that we would fluoridate, either because I don't think as a township you were allowed to even consider opting out. I think
Well,
if you opted
It
out,
was,
it
it
had
was
to
any
be-
municipality over 5,000 people.
Right, we
had-
weren't a municipality then.
Was it? Oh, it's no.
We were a
technically.
township,
Okay.
so we were under county jurisdiction, who was under state
State, okay.
jurisdiction. So
I
that's
think-
kind of
I
had
think they were-
backdoor in.
I think they might have had it might have been a county vote or anything. I'm not sure.
I don't even think it was a vote.
It might. You very well might be right, but I thought they would do like an overall vote for that county or something. But I have absolutely no idea. That's what I thought I read, but I'm
The record, we
No idea.
couldn't find any trace of
I
that.
think
Yeah.
that number
We
one,
did
that
find that
means.
there was 1969
That needs to be addressed, yeah.
legislation that had it required people
And
to
that was
make a
at the
decision.
state level.
Now,
Yeah,
whether it was an
yeah.
actual vote or just like a decision that was made by the governing bodies of each city or something like that.
commissioner. I have no idea.
The state sounds like,
Yeah.
because it's a large city.
At any point, in any case, we have natural fluoridation in the water before anything was addressed to add. And then when we did add, based on however that came about by 71, we chose, or that private company chose to add the minimum almost to get it, what, to 0.8 or
0.82, I think it was.
0.82?
I'm pretty sure.
And I think, isn't that what we have, or 1? You know, we're very, very low in the range that was recommended by the, I guess, EPA ultimately, and that is that 0.82 all the way up to 4 point something, right?
4.4 was.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be within 0.82 to like 1.1 or 1.12 or something. 1.4. Yeah. So that's the maximum for you're allowed to have in your municipality water.
That was one of the problems we ran into when we first picked up on this, was like, because we had read that there was in some cases some cities had it naturally. There was traces of the actual fluoride already in the water, and so we were thinking to ourselves, well, why add more? If that's going to serve the purpose, that they're wanting to put more in, why is the state wanting to put more into the water supply?
So they wanted to get to the optimal dosing level, which
Yeah.
was supposedly around 1.1 or 1 part per million, basically. But naturally occurring fluoride, I think a lot of people miss. Sodium fluoride in general is not naturally occurring whatsoever. Nowhere in nature have we ever found sodium fluoride. It doesn't exist.
Which is a lot of what is added to the water supply. Natural sodium fluoride doesn't occur. Fluoride compounds occur in nature all the time.
Calcium fluoride is naturally occurring. That happened. We find that it's not very commonplace at all. It only happens in a few places around the world. Like there's certain places in southern India that have naturally occurring calcium fluoride, but almost all of the naturally occurring sodium fluoride comes from industrial dumping. That happens at industrial landfills, anywhere, river systems, anywhere,
It'll
tributaries.
contaminate the water beds as it slowly sinks through, and eventually, the chemicals are
Yeah.
added to the water like they're not.
keep in mind the EPA recommendations of what's safe is just basically how much can be allowed into the water supply of this from the dumping without causing significant and more sudden effects to harm a human.
And MC, the maximum containment level, whatever they set, is supposed to, that's their goal, is to set, it's supposed to be where you don't cause any known symptoms, acute or long-term. That's what their supposed goal is, which, to this point, all the research that we found says that 1.1, 8 point, whatever it is, the minimum level that they've set actually does cause quite a few very, very unsafe side effects, which is